How to avoid weld lines in injection molding. What is weld lines in injection molding? Weld lines in injection molding refer to the visible lines or streaks that appear on the surface of a molded part due to the improper merging of the plastic flow from different gates or injection points. What bad effects can weld lines cause? These lines not only affect the aesthetic appeal of the part, but also weaken its structural integrity, leading to potential failure under load or stress. How to avoid weld lines in injection molding. To avoid weld lines in injection molding, it is essential to understand the root causes and take appropriate measures during the design and manufacturing process. A. Inadequate filling of the mold cavity. One of the primary reasons for weld lines is the inadequate filling of the mold cavity. If the flow of the plastic material is not sufficient to completely fill the mold, it results in the formation of weld lines. To prevent this, the mold design should ensure that the gates or injection points are placed strategically to ensure proper and even filling of the mold cavity. The flow channels within the mold should also be designed to avoid any dead spots or areas where the plastic flow is restricted. Increase the number of gates, reduce the depth of the joint line, thicken the runner, and minimize the shortest runner. B. The presence of air pockets. Another common cause of weld lines is the presence of air pockets, or voids within the molded part. These air pockets can occur due to poor venting, or if the mold is not adequately purged of air before injection. To prevent this, the mold design should include adequate venting channels to allow the escape of air and ensure proper filling of the mold cavity. The injection process should also be carefully controlled to avoid the formation of air pockets. At the position of the expected joint line, set the exhaust groove. If the exhaust cannot be set on the parting surface, you can use the nearby ejection tip or row position to set it. C. The flow rate or pressure of the plastic material. In some cases, weld lines can also occur due to the difference in the flow rate or pressure of the plastic material at different gates or injection points. This can be due to the varying viscosity or temperature of the plastic material, or due to the varying cross-sectional area of the flow channels within the mold. To prevent this, the injection process should be carefully controlled to ensure consistent flow and pressure of the plastic material at all gates or injection points. The temperature and viscosity of the plastic material should also be carefully maintained to avoid any variations that can affect the flow rate or pressure. Increase the temperature of the mold can improve the flow rate. By optimizing the heating system, the heating system must be on the surface of the fusion line and 7 to 8 millimeters away from the product surface. Use a hot oil machine for injection molding. The oil temperature rises to between 120 and 140. Of course, the precondition is that the mold base must be graphite guide sleeve. Otherwise it is easy to burn the guide post. D. Shrinkage of the plastic material. Additionally, the mold design should also consider the shrinkage of the plastic material during cooling. If the shrinkage is not properly accounted for, it can result in uneven filling of the mold cavity, leading to the formation of weld lines. To prevent this, the mold design should include sufficient allowance for shrinkage and ensure that the molded part has a consistent thickness throughout. Conclusion. In conclusion, weld lines in injection molding can be avoided by carefully considering the design and manufacturing process. A. Strategic placement of gates and injection points. Adequate venting and purging of air. Consistent flow and pressure of the plastic material. Proper allowance for shrinkage during cooling. By implementing these measures, the risk of weld lines can be significantly reduced, ensuring the aesthetic appeal and structural integrity of the molded part. If you have any other question about injection mold and injection molding, welcome to consult Zatar.